HOA tyrant locks my cabin gate. I own the only bridge out. Click. The padlock snaps shut on my own gate, trapping me on my 40-acre homestead in Willow Creek, Montana, as gravel crunches under a hired guard's boots, diesel fumes souring the crisp mountain air. Lillian Carver, Maple Grove HOA president, stands smug with her clipboard, branding my cabin unfit and locking me inside my own community. Like a prisoner. What would you do if your HOA turned your home into a cage? Ever faced neighbors wielding fake power? Share your story below. I bet it's a wild one. I'm Nathaniel Brooks, a 58-year-old widower who thought losing my wife, Evelyn, after 40 years was the worst pain possible, a hole in my chest wider than Montana's plains, so I fled our Helena suburbs for my grandfather's cabin in Maple Grove, a ritzy enclave of 47 upscale homes linked to the world by one concrete bridge, my bridge, though I didn't yet know its power. Most residents are weekenders or retirees in designer flannel. A few, like me, live here full-time, seeking solitude. The informal HOA handled snow plowing until Lillian Carver, 52, stormed in from Helena with her lawyer husband Victor and entitled son Ethan, eyeing my land for luxury condos. 6 months ago, Lillian seized HOA control, her elevate standards mantra a cover to oust misfits like me. Her black stilettos clicked on my porch, Ethan smirking behind her, as she flipped open her leather portfolio. Mr. Brooks, your cabin's peeling paint, cluttered workshop, and vegetable garden tank property values. My 40 acres, hand-built by my grandfather in 1943, fed our family for decades. This land's been ours for 80 years, I said, steady despite her jab at Evelyn's garden. It stays. Her smile cut like ice. Progress demands sacrifice, Nathaniel. You'll see. 2 weeks later, a county letter cited unpermitted structures. The inspector, a nervous kid, apologized for $3,200 in fees for buildings older than Maple Grove. Lillian's first salvo. My grandfather fought timber thieves. My father battled corrupt water boards. I wasn't folding. In my workshop, surrounded by 80 years of tools, I knew Lillian had picked the wrong fight. She thought grief made me weak. She'd meet a 40-year engineer who built bridges tougher than her schemes. 3 days after my permit check, Lillian sent her brother-in-law, Miles, a surveyor with shoddy gear, to redefine my boundaries. Coffee steaming, I watched him stake 15 feet into my land. You're on my property, I called. Miles smirked. Community green space, Mr. Brooks. Your line's wrong. His assistant fidgeted, sensing the scam. By afternoon, an 8-foot fence rose 15 feet inside my boundary, blocking my trail and workshop's light. Each post thud a strike at Evelyn's memory. Mrs. Clara Hensley, a neighbor, brought coffee, whispering, "This isn't right, Nathaniel. We're with you." Her glance toward Lillian's twitching curtains betraying fear. I hired Everett Surveys for $800, confirming the trespass. In my grandfather's file boxes, I found gold. His 1943 logging claim with an exclusive easement for the bridge, the only road linking Maple Grove to civilization. Courthouse records confirmed. Every filing since 1978 named N. Brooks Estate as bridge owner. Lillian called an emergency meeting, claiming my encroachment warranted $500 monthly fines. I stood, survey in hand. Your fence is on my land, Lillian. And check who owns that bridge you drove over. Her horrified pause was sweeter than Evelyn's cobbler. Lillian didn't retreat. She went feral. A certified letter demanded my hand-carved oak mailbox be replaced with a $340 approved model from Ethan's Crestview Landscaping. Trash pickups skipped my cabin, forcing me to haul garbage to a distant dumpster. Driver Pete whispered. Lillian threatened our contract. A fire hazard complaint targeted my firewood. Inspector Rodriguez sighed. Cleanest stack I've seen. Someone's weaponizing my office. At Hank's Diner, Lillian badmouthed my cabin's value-draining state, overheard by Rachel Monroe, a property rights lawyer. Nathaniel, this is harassment, she said over coffee. Let's talk options. I recorded every call, Montana's one-party consent, and requested 5 years of HOA minutes. Revealing Lillian's prey, the Thompsons, driven out over landscaping. Mrs. Porter, fined over her cat until she left. The Martins, bullied over their garden. Lillian was a serial predator. Rachel's dig into bridge contracts exposed $180,000 yearly to Maple Grove Infrastructure LLC, owned by Lillian, stealing $2.7 million mint for my bridge. Fraud, embezzlement, racketeering, Rachel said. Lillian proposed a $3,000 buyout for my problematic land. Petty compared to her theft. Mrs. Hensley rallied at the meeting. This bullying stops. Tom Willis, a neighbor, whispered, "We're in." Nathaniel. The tide turned. Lillian's desperation peaked. A gated entry with cameras locked me out after a supply run. My code expired. The guard's system error reeked of Lillian. Mrs. Hensley fumed. Criminal. I snapped photos, calling Rachel. False imprisonment, a felony, she said. Deputy Martinez arrived. You can't trap a man on his land. As Lillian argued, HOA governance. Rachel filed injunctions and alerted Montana DOT about bridge fund theft. Accountant Ellis exposed Lillian's empire. $200,000 in fake surveys by Miles. $150,000 in Ethan's sham landscaping. $89,000 in Victor's padded legal fees, totaling $3.5 million stolen. Shredders hummed at Lillian's. She was too late. Ellis had digital records. Tom rallied 23 residents at Hank's Diner, sharing stories. $8,000 for road repairs, gravel and potholes. $3,000 for Walmart lights, billed as upgrades. Lillian demanded a $50,000 bridge buyout. Reporter Nina Holt's expose, Mountain Empress Stolen Kingdom, loomed. On my porch, sunset gilding the peaks, I planned Lillian's downfall. The bombshell hit Tuesday. Rachel's audit revealed $40,000 snow removal, worth $8,000, $75,000 fake septic fixes, $15,000 for Lillian's newsletter. Victor's firm billed for teaching theft. Ethan's daisies cost $500 each. Total, $847,000 plus $2.7 million bridge funds. A 1962 record showed my grandfather lost Lillian's lot in a rigged poker game to her father-in-law, Edward Carver Sr. Her campaign was a 60-year grudge. Victor filed for divorce. Ethan's accounts froze. Lillian tried bribing Inspector Ellis with $5,000 to condemn my cabin. He reported her. Bridge inspections confirmed $400,000 in neglected repairs, funds Lillian pocketed. I installed cameras, catching her crimes. Lillian hired P.I. Crane, who flipped, handing me files on her Helena, Missoula, and Billings HOA scams. Same pattern. Seize boards, install family, steal, flee. Thursday, Lillian dissolved the HOA to dodge prosecution. A desperate flop. She called 911, claiming I threatened the bridge, but Sheriff Martinez warned, false reports are crimes. Her fire sale house got no buyers. Who'd buy where the bridge owner was? Harassed? Nina's Channel 9 interview caught Lillian's meltdown, shrieking fake news before a mansion bought with stolen funds. Tom's grandson traced her cyber harassment to her IP. Deputies arrested Ethan for vandalizing Martin's car. Lillian's allies vanished. Her emails went unanswered. Thursday, the Maple Grove Community Center was a pressure cooker, 200 residents packed in, TV crews poised, deputies ready. Lillian strode in, cream Chanel suit gleaming, diluted confidence intact. I'm addressing attacks by dangerous elements, she began, but shouts of thief erupted. Mrs. Martin waved her evidence packet. We know about your landscaping scam, the bridge money. I stood, boots clicking, Rachel wheeling in evidence boxes. Let's talk about a bridge, I said, holding my grandfather's 1943 deed. I've owned Maple Grove's only road for 81 years. Lillian stole $2. 7M meant for it. The projector showed her fraud. $847,000 in fake contracts, Miles surveys, Ethan's landscaping, Victor's fees. Lillian stammered. Fabricated. Sheriff Martinez stepped forward. You have the right to remain silent. Handcuffs clicked, sweeter than Evelyn's laughter. The room roared as Lillian was let out, cameras flashing her fall. Commissioner Walsh dissolved the HOA. Board announced prosecutions and turned to me. Bridge plans? Open, but Maple Grove buys it for $50,000, funding a scholarship. Applause shook the rafters. Mrs. Hensley cried. Tom cheered. Mrs. Martin hugged her kids. Lillian's patrol car vanished into the night, carrying 8 years of corruption. A month later, Lillian stood in Cascade County Court, orange jumpsuit clashing with her ego, pleading guilty to embezzlement, fraud, and bribery. Judge Grayson, my Army buddy, gave her 3 years, $3.5 million restitution, and 500 hours cleaning highways. Victor fled to Helena. Ethan pumped gas. Lillian's mansion became a park with playgrounds and a governance memorial. Residents rebuilt the bridge, Tom coordinating, Mrs. Hensley feeding volunteers, Mrs. Martin tending injuries. The new HOA, elected transparently, cut project costs from $50,000 to $8,000. Property values rose 15%, drawing residents to our honest community. My workshop became a hub, neighbors solving disputes over coffee. Mrs. Hensley's sister, Mary, and I shared stories of loss and hope. Bridgegate hit law schools, sparking the Maple Grove Act for HOA audits. A documentary, Bridge to Freedom, funded scholarships. Hank's Diner hosted democracy dinners, boosting local business. Lillian, out after 18 months, worked retail, banned from boards, a cautionary tale. On my porch, sunset glowing, a call came from Idaho, another HOA scam, water rights this time. Mrs. Hensley brought pie. Nathaniel, they need you. I looked at my bridge, now honest, connecting a community that talks, not schemes. What do you think, Evelyn? I whispered. Kids' laughter from the park answered. Time to help another fight smart, not angry. Can you trust HOAs blindly, or do they breed corruption? When does fighting back become obsession? Share your HOA horror below. Your story could save someone. Comment on justice versus community trust. Subscribe for more tales of ordinary folks crushing corrupt systems. Next, a manager who stole a town's heart. Stay sharp, verify power, protect your legacy.